Hello everyone, and welcome back to another session of Dark Souls 2 PvP and another weapon showcase. This time I am using the Pilgrim Spontoon, which is a weapon that we rarely see and for some pretty good reasons. Now, getting started with the weapon, it requires 11 strength, 12 dexterity, 30 intelligence, and 30 faith in order to wield. It has a C scaling in magic and a C scaling in dark. This weapon has no physical base damage. It has a magic base damage and dark base damage of 180 for each. And for me, the attack rating of the weapon is 468. The counter strength of this weapon is 130. Poise damage is 15 per hit, and the weight is 3.5 units. When infused with magic, this weapon's scalings actually change in a strange way. The C scaling in magic and the C scaling in dark actually both increase to a B scaling, and that's strange. The magic base damage goes up to a 186, the dark base damage goes down to a 137, and that changes my attack rating, so it's a 471. When you infuse it with dark, your scalings both remain C. I'm assuming that your magic scaling goes to a lower tier of C and your dark scaling goes to a higher tier of C. I didn't actually look that in depth with it. I do apologize for that. Your magic base damage drops down to a 137. Your dark base damage goes up to a 160 or 186, not 168, 186. And for me, my attack rating with the dark infused Pilgrim Spontoon is 463. So really, not much of a change in either direction. If you do plan on infusing and buffing and all that, there's really not much of a difference. So, is it worthwhile to do? Not really, in my opinion. I mean, it doesn't do a whole lot for you at all. The double B scaling when magic infused is nice, but you would need a bit more stat investment than the base 30-30 that I had to make it more worthwhile, I suppose. So, maybe with 60-60 it would be a lot better, but I honestly can't confirm that for you, so I do apologize for not knowing. Anyway, moving on, the biggest pro of this weapon is actually related to the fact that it can cast spells. It's not that it is a weapon that can cast spells, but it's related to that. It's actually the counter strength. 130 counter strength is also applied to your spells. That is awesome. That does a lot of good for you and makes this weapon very viable. That being said, the way I used it for these fights, I was focusing mostly on a purely physical approach to the weapon. You know, actually using the weapon as a weapon and not a casting tool. So that made it significantly more difficult for me than it needed to be. So it is what it is. Other than that, you've got, of course, the pro that it can, in fact, cast spells. I don't think that really needs to be said. So, yeah. But otherwise, there's really no good thing about this weapon, in my opinion. I mean, there are better options, and is it really worth it to use a weapon that can cast as well as poke away at people? In my opinion, no. You lose out on a lot of stuff. I mean, you don't have any R2 attacks, you only have spells, and of course that's a good thing to some, but I like the variety that it would have had if, say, it could only cast spells when two-handed, or if, like the Sorcerer's Twin Blade, its R2 attack was actually put onto the two-handed L2. That would be nice, but that's not the way they did it. Anyway, the cons of the weapon, your damage. Yes, it's got an attack rating of 460, approximately 470, but that's all in magical and dark damage. Meaning, there's two sets of resistances to go through, and when you hit someone, it really doesn't do all that much at all. So that's kind of bad. Anyway, that's really all I've got to say about this weapon. I hope you guys found this video helpful in one way or another. Please like, subscribe, and all that good stuff, and I will see you guys next time.